Trauma is not just a moment, it is an education forced upon you without consent. It arrives uninvited, rewrites your nervous system, and then quietly stays, altering how you see people, environment, and even yourself. What makes trauma particularly cruel is that it doesn't end when the situation ends. It continues in memory, in the body, in the constant scanning for danger wrong after the immediate threat has passed. What happened taught me that safety is fragile. It is not guaranteed by good intention, familiarity, or proximity. Safety depends on decision people make under pressure, in moments of stress, confusion, urgency, and in fear. It depends on communication, clarity, and responsibility. And when those things collapse, even briefly, the consequences can be deeply destabilizing. I learned that trust can be shaken not by dramatic betrayal but by silence, miscommunication, and being left alone in a moment where support was needed the most. Being unheard, unsupported, or dismissed in a critical moment just created fear in that instant. It creates echo. It teaches your mind to replay details, to question assumptions you once took for granted, and to become hyper aware of how quickly things can go wrong. Trauma sharpens awareness in uncomfortable ways. It forces you to notice what you used to overlook. It exposes how lack of accountability, even without malicious intent, can deepen harm. How absence can hold just as much as action. How emotional safety is often treated as optional when in reality it is essential. This experience reinforced something important. Emotional safety is not a luxury. It is not something you earn by being patient, understanding, or strong. When emotional safety is compromised, the impact can be just as severe as physical danger. The body doesn't distinguish between the two. Fear is fear, threat is threat. But trauma also clarifies character. In moments of extreme need, it reveals shows who shows up and who disappears. It exposes the difference between people who are merely present in your life and those who come through when it truly matters. Some people choose presence over convenience. Some choose responsibility over comfort. Some offer stillness, not by fixing everything, but by refusing to abandon you in the middle of everything. Those people become anchors, not heroes, not survivors. Anchors. They restore a measure of faith, reminding you that with safety, while safety can be fragile, genuine care still exists. Trauma teaches you to recognize these people clearly and to stop overvaluing those who only show up when it's easy. Healing, I have learned, is not by pretending strength. It is not by rushing forgiveness, minimizing what happened, or silencing yourself to keep the peace. Healing is about naming the truth of what occurred, allowing yourself to acknowledge how it affected you, and refusing to gaslight yourself into moving on before you are ready. Trauma strips away naivety and replaces it with discernment. It forces you to value yourself enough to demand better conditions, clear communications, and genuine care. It reshapes your understanding of responsibility, trust, and self protection. It teaches you to speak up, not to create conflict, but to ensure accountability, acknowledgement, and prevention. I'll never choose this reason, but it changed how access safety, how I set boundaries, and how I decided who deserves access to me. And if there is one thing trauma ultimately insists on, it is this: what happened must be acknowledged, run from, and never repeated. Make sure when allowing people in your life, allow people that can stay with you, not only in the good times, but even when you need them the most. This is my story.